Have you ever met someone and thought, this is different, and then 3 months later, you're sitting on your bed staring at your phone like a hostage negotiator, explaining basic respect to a person who just isn't great at communication? Yeah, this episode is for that. Today we're talking about why you keep falling for the wrong person. And no, it's not because you're stupid, cursed, or attracted to red flags for fun. Although, some of those red flags do arrive wearing excellent outfits and intense eye contact. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fall for the wrong person because they want pain. They fall for someone who feels familiar, exciting, or emotionally significant. And those are not always the same thing as safe, consistent, or actually compatible. That's the trap. Because chemistry can feel like destiny, when sometimes it's just your nervous system recognizing a pattern. Read that again emotionally. Sometimes the person feels magnetic not because they're right for you, but because they activate something old. The need to prove yourself, the fear of being abandoned, the hope that this time you'll finally be chosen, the urge to rescue, fix, or earn love. So what feels like love at first sight is sometimes unresolved homework with a jawline. And personality plays a huge role here. Some people are drawn to intensity. If it's not passionate, dramatic, all-night texting, they think it's boring. Some are drawn to potential. They don't date who the person is. They date the future version of them, which is romantic, but also how you end up in a relationship with a PowerPoint presentation. Some are deeply loyal and empathetic, which is beautiful, but it can turn into over-tolerance. You keep seeing the good in people who keep showing you the same bad pattern. And some people confuse being chosen with being valued, so they stay too long, because leaving feels like failure. Here's another reason people fall for the wrong person: intermittent reinforcement, a fancy term for sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they vanish, and now your brain is obsessed. It's the emotional version of a slot machine. You don't pull the lever because it always pays out. You pull it because maybe this time. That unpredictability creates intensity, and intensity can feel a lot like love when you're in it. But real compatibility usually feels less like chaos and more like peace. And let's be honest, peace can feel weird at first if you're used to earning affection. If someone is kind, consistent, clear, and emotionally available, part of you might go, nice. But where is the panic? Where is the confusion? Where is the 1 a.m. paragraph? That doesn't mean you're broken. It means your system may be more familiar with emotional roller coasters than stability. And that's the blind spot. You think you're choosing based on what you want, but sometimes you're choosing based on what you're used to. So what helps? First, stop asking only, do I like them? Also ask, how do I feel around them? Do you feel grounded, respected, clear, or mostly anxious, hyper-alert, and weirdly exhausted? Attraction matters, but so does your nervous system not filing daily incident reports. Second, watch patterns, not promises. Anyone can say, I'm really into you. Pay attention to what they do when they're tired, busy, stressed, or not getting their way. That's where the real person lives. Third, don't confuse your empathy with compatibility. You can understand someone's wounds and still not be meant to build a life with them. You are allowed to say, I get why you're like this, and this still doesn't work for me. That is growth. That is healing. That is also significantly cheaper than another situationship. If this hits close to home, be gentle with yourself. You didn't fall for the wrong person because you're weak. You probably fell for a pattern that once felt like survival, hope, or love. The goal isn't to become cold, it's to become clear. To choose people who are not just exciting to your wounds, but good for your life. And one more thing, the right person usually doesn't require you to betray yourself to keep them. You won't have to shrink, decode, perform, or audition for basic care. You still might feel vulnerable, that's normal, but you won't feel constantly confused. The right connection can challenge you, yes, but it shouldn't make you feel like you're always one wrong sentence away from losing everything. If you want to understand your deeper pattern, why you chase, overgive, ignore red flags, or mistake intensity for connection, Take the personality peak quiz at personalitypeak.com, because once you know your pattern, you stop calling every emotional roller coaster fate. See you in the next episode.